Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. There is not too much to update, but I'm going to update you about the latest developments in this triangle. We are currently waiting for a breakout here out of this, you could call it a triangle, a bearish pennant maybe, which would be primed to break out to the downside after a strong downtrend here end of last week. So we have been in this sideways consolidation now since the 20th of August. Allows a little bit of time to reorient ourselves here, time to breathe in and just wait for the market to give us a clear signal in which direction it is going to continue the trend. Because at the moment the trend is fairly unclear. I'm still leaning carefully towards the bullish scenario, but I've always said very, very carefully bullish, and that we still have to allow for all options at the moment because I know it is frustrating for a lot of people, but what you need to understand, we are coming from like an 8, 9 or 10 months, depending on when you count, that correction has started, maybe even over a year. Because I would say that correction started already in April last year, but depending on how long, it doesn't matter. We come from a very long correction, and the trend was down, and then now we're in this sort of sideways range, in this potential turnaround space. And of course, after such a long downtrend, the market first needs to find out what it actually wants to do. And that is also why various scenarios are currently possible. Also the wave count, the market structure currently allows for different scenarios to play out. That isn't always the case. At the moment it is, unfortunately. And I know this seems a bit like, it can go up or down, but the reality is that is a valid prediction because it can at the moment go up or down. That is why my probabilities also are very, very close together. 60% probability that we will have a breakout scenario and that we are in the breakout scenario. Even admittedly, this is currently being challenged, absolutely. But again, I've emphasized all the time, we also need to be careful. We could still see lower lows here, and that is why it is sometimes so good to just wait for confirmation. But we've never seen these confirmation pullbacks in a wave 3. You would expect a 5-wave move up and a 3-wave pullback. Now we haven't even really seen a 5-wave impulse on the side of Bitcoin. That's the problem. And the 40% probability is to the downside. Now that should already have given you over the last few weeks the view that definitely we can make another low. If it happens, it happens. It was definitely all written into the chart already as a potential, as a probability. And I think it was the right choice to be very cautious here and only carefully bullish and not be, sort of overly optimistic here. So I think that was sort of hopefully helpful, because, it is still unclear. And also the latest move down definitely wasn't good for crypto, not for the breakout scenarios. Unfortunately, the move down, though, was not strong enough to invalidate the bullish scenario. So we are still in this space of uncertainty, unfortunately. Now what I can really update you only about is what is happening here. Everything else is unchanged from the previous videos. And take a look at the previous videos if you want to know more about the higher level wave pattern. Probably have more time later today to discuss that again. But let's take a look here at the most imminent wave count. So we can see this as a pattern trader. We would understand that as a triangle, maybe a bearish pennant. And we would expect here the breakout to the downside. From an Elliott Wave point of view as well, I would think it is most likely to break this triangle to the downside. And you can even see within this maybe a head and shoulders pattern, even though it's not very clear here on the Bitcoin chart. But there are various wave counts that make this work. So, and the more you have, the more likely it gets, and the more you have, that makes sense, definitely. And here we assume that we came down in a wave 3 on the 20th of August, down to around 20,700. We are now in this wave 4 correction. This wave 4 correction could be either a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, what you can see here in white. In this scenario, we would expect a breakout to the opposite side of the wave E, and the wave E could be finished at any given time. Now bear in mind, a triangle can expand, it can extend, it's very difficult to predict, but at the moment we could count it as a complete triangle and need to be on the lookout for lower prices here. Breakout pattern or breakout would occur, first indication, below the low of the wave D at 21,130, and best confirmation would be a breakout below the low of the wave B, that is at 20,900. The triangle would be invalidated, the bearish triangle would be invalidated if we break above the high of the wave A, that is at 21,770. Now we have one more possibility, which is the yellow count, which is a regular flat pattern, a correction, where we count this also as a wave A in yellow. We then came down in a wave B, very close to the beginning of the wave A, always very good indication that this is a flat pattern, and then the wave C should actually go higher above the wave A. This scenario I would only be in favor of if we really go above the wave A now, because it would need to get close to the $22,200 level. Even from there then I would expect the move to end and go down. However, the wave C is normally an impulse and it's not happening, so I find that scenario quite unlikely. The other scenario would also be a flat pattern with a shorter wave C, where we saw in blue here a wave A as well, a wave B down, and then the wave C itself an ending diagonal, a short wave C, and we would then possibly already be in the wave A down. Oh no, sorry, the wave 1 to the downside of the unfolding impulse to the downside. So in this scenario that would have started already, and we've already seen the wave 2 to the upside probably. Okay, but also here I find it less likely with the ending diagonal in that pattern and the shorter wave C than the wave A. So primarily I would expect here the triangle, but in the end it doesn't really matter. They would all lead to very similar outcomes, which would be another drop to the downside, which could end either at, in my opinion, 20,700, 20,450 or 19,450. These are the key levels I'd be looking at. If we go impulsively above 22,200, then I would say the low is already in here, because we don't necessarily need to go lower. I would then say, okay, the low was probably already in here, probably here on the 20th of August, and we are already going higher earlier than expected, which is possible as well. Market does this stuff sometimes, and but that would then point towards a more impulsive move to the upside, and I will then update you if that happens. Okay, and that's my update about Bitcoin. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.